promising rounds for gamers too, and that just kind of gives you the state of where they find themselves as of right now. I think that was a well worth a try. I mean, you know, give it a shot towards A. You haven't been there so far this game, so you have nothing really to lose, and this is one of the biggest issues they're going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, just that, exactly. Alu getting that opening pick. And this is the other thing. If you're going to start poking around at A, you have to deal with Alu. He's got that AWP. He holds onto the apartments with the help of Freiburg down here. And now they just change up their position. This is going to be the game plan for Alu as well, trying to be unpredictable with his positioning so that G2, it's harder for them to just zone in on that AWP and, you know, cut him off with smokes, try and flash him out, try and just pick him off. He needs to be the ninja, really. He needs to embody the ninja. Like one shot, one kill from anywhere. Perfectly timed smoke there, actually, to block that off. There it is, Ministe. He's actually going to catch Freiburg out. So there's already the rotation coming through here, however, but we have to see exactly where G2 decide to take this now. Bomb is making its way over to the voluptuous bomb site. And Rollin, this is it now. Forrest not going to get that kill. Walks right into his crosshairs. And now this is going to be that turn of speed. All three members just barreling out onto this site. Exist trying to do the best he can, but that smoke is going to block him off. He needs to try and find the shot on this site, but he's not going to get it. Runs out of bullets. And so now, for the first time, they actually have a bomb site. G2 will get the plant.
This is still a doable position for NiP, but obviously, Gamers 2 are in pretty decent after plant position, and with Mouse picking up Get right there, the best thing Ali can hope for really at this point is taking out as many terrorists as possible and then just saving his AWP.
And a nice shot there. You know, just takes his time, lines it up. He takes a little bit of damage. But he's willing to get in here, and I like the fact that Alu is hanging around. NiP, filthy rich. They have all the money they need. Now he's just listening in, trying to zone in, and there you go. Point blank gets the kill and just tombs Innocent. He could even potentially get the last one. It's actually going to be Mouse to hunt him down there at the end. So little HP left on Alu, but this is still a good round for NiP.
I mean, yeah, they do manage to limit the gain that Gamers 2 actually got from it, and now, you know, the crucial round that we talked about so many times is about to unfold. Gamers do need to pick up this round as well if they want to have any shot at staying in this game, because if not, it's all reset and they're back to square one.
That's going to be the pressure here. And just, I mean, having spent all of their money as well because of all those kills that they took in the last round. This is a big opportunity for NiP to run away with this half. It's a big opportunity for G2 to actually have an impact here, but they're going for more of the same. Flash out onto the B site. Forrest caught with the wrong gun in hand, does not adjust in time. Exist gets flashed, and here we go. Great flash there to get that frag on Exist. And they actually have now Sparrow up on this site. Smoke goes down to block off connector. He's going to take a little bit of nade damage, but that's not the end of the world. The most important thing is that now G2, they could potentially get another bomb plant. Except that Get Right, I mean, now this is just turning into an all-out battle. Get Right is here to save his teammate as well. And Innocent, the bomb gets planted, but he's now in a 1v2 situation. Now makes that a 1v1, but he gets spotted out, and he cannot hide here. You can wallbang through these walls. The perfect timing, though, to catch Get Right out. Get Right caught mid-air. Nothing he could do. Getting a little bit ahead of himself there, it seems. You know, he thought that he had definitely locked him down in that hut. Yeah,
a bit of a weird... it's weird how that actually played out. I would have figured that Get Right, you know, would have taken the time to just spam through the
a little bit
I guess
more.
hen house, you could call it. Yeah, exactly. But you know, finally we see Gamers 2 doing what they didn't do initially, and that was actually push through. We saw them. We pushed out with 3 people, got onto the site. Sparrow picks up 2 frags.
What? And Alu shoots between them? He still turns around and gets the other. He knows 2 guys are there, though, so he has to back off and play careful. Freiburg rotates in to support him, but that nade, great bank, just catches Alu out before he can get out of harm's way. So brings that back to a 4-on-4 now. And once again, G2, now they've really spread out across the map this time around, and it's worked out for him, although Freiburg is going to get the drop on Sparrow.
But what Gamers 2 are doing right now is actually really good, because they're finally spreading NiP rather thin, which is something they haven't been able to do, you know, before they started picking up rounds. So the fact that they are showing their presence towards a bomb site, even though they, you know, this summer are not that successful, it's still a positive sign from the Polish team.
Now we have to see if there's going to be more of the same here. Rollin really taking his time. They know that Forrest is still alive. They know that he likes to lurk around on long. They're trying to check all the angles, but they're going to be able to make it past onto this site. Totally white, though. Rollin, they're not going to be able to see a thing as Exist takes him out. And now Exist is going to try and slow things up. Good double team play here. Good trade as well for G2. And Maus, he will turn this into a 1v1, but he's so low on HP. And Freiburg is holding that line. As soon as Maus gets around the corner here, of that pillar with the tree on it, he's doomed. He needs to wait for Freiberg to get impatient, and that happens, but doesn't hit the headshot. So Freiberg is going to be able to end the hopes here for G2.
Yeah, but I mean, with that, you know, those 2 rounds and actually downing 4 people in that last round, they've actually put some significant pressure on NiP economically speaking. You can see a couple of FAMASs and you know, a shotgun even on Alu. So you know, they're starting to claw their way back. Now it's just for them to actually get right back on it. So as soon as they have the opportunity to buy, they need to make it count.
Oh, and there you go. Mouse picks up the AK, not going to be able to put it to use. However, Exist is going to find the perfect angle to take him out, but that was some good aggression coming through. Only problem is now that the bomb, this is a very difficult situation. Exist not going to be able to get that spray down, but Alu is there. And he only gets one. Gets glocked to the face. That was actually a bit sloppy there. At least it seems like more damage was done to NiP than necessary.
Yeah, actually a lot more. I mean, that was, as you said, Glocks. They're not supposed to do that much damage to a bought-up team. And again, you know, games were able to kind of limit NiP's economy somewhat. So with a round win here, they could potentially force NiP back on an eco.
Well, this is big. I mean, it's so. I mean, look, even Get Right, he's down to a P90 right now. So it's like they aren't exactly flush on NiP's side. The same could be said for G2. Freiberg, the timing for him, he pulls out his M4, not going to be able to spray down the second man. But at least he does turn that into a 1-for-1 trade. It could have been a horrible catastrophe if he gets caught with a nade in hand and just gets overrun. Man advantage for G2 would be too strong right now. But even this, a 4-on-4 scenario, this favors the terrorist side. Because this is basically NiP now having to try and cover more ground with less men, with fewer men rather. So it's going to be down to the decision making here for NiP. They're going to have to make the right call, and it looks like G2, they're working that bomb back towards A, so they might actually look to get that mid push going here.
Yeah, and the one guy placed still by drop zone is going to work as a bit of a decoy here, I would assume, before games don't actually commit to the bomb site.
Tricky stuff though. Get Right. There you go. The timing couldn't be worse. For NiP, Get Right rotates off, and he's too late. He gets smoked out, and now it's going to come down to the last man alive on this site. That is Alu with the AWP, but he cannot pull the trigger fast enough to pick up the second frag. He only takes out Sparrow. So that means we're into a 3-on-3. Get Right rushes through the smoke, does not win the duel versus Innocent. And now a man advantage for G2. They've got control of the bomb site. They've got the bomb planted, and they're trying to push through. Forrest takes a 1-for-1, but now it's just down to Exist. There's so many angles he has to check as well. He knows that there's a man on the bomb site. Does not seem to know where the second man is, however, and there you have it. Dies without ever figuring out that Rollin was behind the wood planking.
Yeah, and there we have it. I mean, NiP on eco, and we talked about it, you know, what would be an acceptable score for Gamers 2 to actually come out of this first half with, and 4 to 5 rounds, that seemed like the most reasonable thing they could hope for, and right now, it's well within reach for them. I mean, they should actually pick up this round as well, even though Arlo has actually bought off of Mars and the rest of NiP have 4 spot.
And they have really put a lot into this right now. This is a bit of a risk from NiP.
Yeah, if they lose this, I mean, this could very easily be 5 to 10.
Exactly. This could give, this could give G2 all the rounds they need. So now NiP betting, gambling a little bit on their ability to just close this out should G2 choose to push through. As you see right now, are patient. They're playing it very patiently.
Yeah, and that's a smart thing to do. They realize what kind of situation NiP find themselves in. And I don't think they're necessarily going to expect the force buy, seeing how it is the second to last round. So, you know, it would be logical to think that, you know, they do save and then get a proper buy for the last round. But yeah, they're just taking their time. Don't want to, you know, lose unnecessary rounds, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, we have to. You see Forrest perhaps trying to bait him in a little bit. Hey, we only have pistols, guys. It's all good. You have nothing to worry about. Nobody is behind this box over here with the mini machine gun, the CZ. Forrest really trying to just draw their attention over here. This is a really clever play from him. Rollin is going to be taking point. And Rollin really looking to see if he can't find that angle. They're going to rush around the corner together, and they're completely lined up. Exist with the double, and Forrest gets one as well. And that couldn't have gone better for NiP. They do eventually take out Exist, and Sparrow now trying to do the best that he can, but he is getting chipped down as well. Does manage to work his way out to that site. They're hitting some great return shots here. From an advantageous position now, all of a sudden, it's into a 1v1. Good flash there by Freiberg, and he's going to try and hunt him down. He has picked up an AK to play with here. And this comes down to timing now. Does Sparrow spot him out? He does, and he gets the headshot on Freiberg. Great round by G2, great round by NiP, but G2 somehow battled their way back.
Yeah, that was just a couple of crazy headshots from Maz and Sperr right there. And if it hadn't been for that, it could have easily been a complete disaster. I mean, 3 opening frags from NiP. I think Forrest did a brilliant job of baiting enough attention from the Gamers 2 members. Actually allowed a pretty easy double kill for Exist.
He did really. I mean, that's that kind of scenario, and it took quite a while as well for him to get those kills. For a second there, I thought he's actually missed, that last bullet, but he gets 2 instead. That went about as good as it gets for NiP. That was perfect, and yet G2 did not give up. They hit the shots that they needed to, and they ended up taking that round. So now it is another round of force buy here for NiP, and they are trying to change it up somewhat here. Get right with the lurk. I like this boost, but we'll see if it actually works out. Freiburg, he just shuts down Manise. Get right. The lurk paid off. He picked off Maus, and there you go. Another 2 entry frags here for NiP. Freiburg not realizing that he actually hit those shots through the smoke. A very close call there.
And so far, NiP found themselves in a really good position, as long as Freiburg doesn't get caught out here. And yeah, there we go. Easily executes radar. So right now, G2 are in an awful situation, actually. In the previous round, at least they were, even remotely close to a bomb site, and they actually managed to get down the bomb fairly early. But right now, they have no real opening, actually, to find an entry frag to any of the bomb sites.
Well, they're trying to create an opportunity here. Flash into drop-down room. Rollin is going to just run through. He's about to get flanked, however. He has spotted out Get Right in time, but Get Right does manage to pick up that frag. Exist with the CZ, trying to stop Innocent from making that cross, but he does get taken out eventually. But this is all about time now. Only 8 seconds left. Innocent, he's not going to be able to get the bomb. He's not going to be able to get the frags. Instead, he gets a bullet to the face, and NiP will pick up 11 rounds in the first half.
I mean, even though, it felt like a pretty dominant NiP performance before the break, I mean, Gamers 2 definitely show that they still have some fight left in them. I think 4 rounds is something that they'll just pretty much have to be satisfied with, even though they should win a round, simply when they're fully bought up. They should win a round like that last one, but they can't really hang their heads because of that.
I think this is pretty satisfying. I think they have to realize that they were kind of lucky as well, especially getting away with that 4th round, where it could have all just been a horrible catastrophe, a calamity, and missing the pistol round would have been one as well. But NiP have already taken some HE damage here, so this isn't exactly the best start for their T half. Doing a good job of clearing up the apartments.
And actually going against, a common trend as of right now and not getting any Tech 9s. Opted for body armor and a couple of nades on Freiburg, so I would assume that Freiburg's going to smoke off the connector towards the bomb site, and there we go, Arlu.
Well, that was the dropping down, and now they're just going to try and wrap around, catching the rotator through connector. This is looking very good now for NiP. 1 man alive, and not for long. Force chases him down with a well-placed HE, and that is going to be NiP in control of that pointy letter site. They've got the A, and Maus is not able to get the job done himself. No kills here for G2 in this pistol round, and that is exactly what NiP were looking to do. Pick up an easy pistol and just continue to pressure G2. Do not give them an easy start here in this second half.
It was a really rough start to the second half for the Polish team as well. I mean, not even getting a single kill, Arlu surviving on 3 HP, and that wasn't NiP doing anything special. They just hit those shots really, while Gamers 2, they weren't prepared for it. It seemed like they were expecting, a pop flash here or a smoke there before something would go down, but NiP caught them off guard.
Oh, the timing here as well. This timing could be beautiful. Does he realize? It looks like he does, but the reactions from Rollin. Great shot, point blank on Get Right. Straight to the head. And there you go. Now NiP, they're going to be rattled a little bit here. I mean, you practically have to treat every round like a buy round these days. These pistols so powerful at close quarters. So NiP really have to take their time, pace themselves here. But the gear is getting forced out. Still a minute left on the clock, though, so it's not at the end of the world.
Yeah, the issue for the CT side right now is the fact that they don't have any nades left. So once the barrage from NiP starts, they're going to have a really tough time actually holding on.
About to see it now. Freiburg, he has peeked. Rollin spotted him. There you go, Rollin. 2nd kill of the round for him. Manages to pick off Freiburg as well. And this is the push now coming in from NiP, but Maus doing a fantastic job here up on this pillar. Manages to pick up one before Exist takes him out. But the remaining 2 players here for NiP doing good work. Exist takes out Rollin. There you go. Manise gets the drop on him, but somehow does not get the kill. Down to half HP, both of them. And Sparrow trying to do the work with the Deagle. He takes that shot. I mean, he does the damage to Alu here, but this is way too close. He needs to work his way forward. Can he actually find a weapon to use, or is he going to have to rely on the Deagle? I mean, the Deagle, if he's up close like this, if he gets a body shot, that could do the trick. But he needs to get caught, or rather, he needs to not get caught looking the wrong way, and that just does not happen for him there.
Yeah, and again, that was a bit of a similar round actually to what happened to Gamers on their last round there of the first half. Pretty much just existed Alu working as a tandem and just getting 3 frags insanely quick. I think Minis probably should have managed to pick up at least 1 frag there as they dropped down, but fortunately for Games 2 that wasn't possible.
No, I mean, no surprise here. We have pretty much a hard eco coming through. Unfortunately for Rollin, he invested in that 5-7, and he's not going to get anything done with it. His teammate Miles, however, is going to pick it up. Now we have to see if Getright's going to be able to pick up that frag up close with the ump, but instead it's going to be Innocent getting caught out on that side. Exist hitting yet another headshot. And a 3-man advantage now for NiP. Control of the bomb site as well. That bomb will get planted, and now the best hopes here for G2. What they're going to look to do is just try and pick somebody off from NiP. If they can catch somebody out of position where they can pick up an AK, that would be a big win for them. But there, great timing by Forrest to spot the first one, and he gets the second one as well. Very clean work there, and another perfect round for NiP.
And the unfortunate thing for Gamers 2 right now is the fact that even though they might be able to pick up 1 round here, they're going to have to do pretty much flawlessly because they're emptying their bank accounts completely. So if they lose more than 2 members, they're not going to have enough money to actually resupply everyone. But on NiP's end, they barely took any losses during the eco, so they're going to be completely fine.
They have plenty of money at this point. Olo trying to see if he could get there before that smoke goes down on long. Just a little bit too late. Does manage to do some damage. Getright has held onto the ump. Not a poor choice necessarily. It's just it's going to take a little bit longer to get the damage in, but that is definitely one of the highest damage SMGs versus armor that you can be using.
Yeah, because you see something different that NiP are doing compared to Gamers 2. They're actually actively searching out through the A-holes, and they've actually gained quite a bit of control there.
They do have the setup. A little bit of a messed up flash there. Going to give Sparrow a bit of a heart attack. But it's Innocent, actually. He's going to catch Getright, who was lurking on B, just hoping to get lucky. So no luck there for him today. Now the question is, do G2 sniff out what's happening here? Do they realize that, well, the action's probably going to be happening on the other side of the map? That's the question. Alu has been spotted out in mid, manages to not quite tag down the man holding close. Minis, however, waiting around that corner is going to take out Alu, catches him as he tries to push through the doors. The remaining 3 members for NiP now trying to get onto this bomb site, but there are 2 guys holding here for G2 in good positions at the back of the site. Good play there by Freiburg to spot out Sparrow, and Roland is now gone as well. Minis now the last man alive, waiting on his team to rotate in. He just needs to buy the time, and he gets the double spray down. That's exactly what he had to do. Innocent will rotate in and save his life. Freiburg is gone, and just like that, a very solid hold for the CT side.
Absolutely, very solid hold indeed. The fact that both Alu and I think it was Freiburg who went down the first. But the fact that NiP simply go 2 men down that early on really just hampers their push. You could see that they definitely had a plan and actually had a really neat smoke setup where they pretty much just smoked out the entire backside behind the car and whatnot and had a Molotov for sight and all that. But with limited firepower, it's not going to go too well as Forrest opens up.
He just comes around that corner pre-aiming that spot, and it just so happens to be that Sparrow is standing there. So good play there by NiP, and NiP, man, they are not giving up on this. They've definitely got the pressure. They've got all the rounds, all the advantage at this point. So they should have all the confidence on their side of the map as well. It's G2 who are under enormous pressure at this point to just go round for round.
Yeah, and right now, NiP have gotten exactly what they wanted out of that opening frag. They forced a rotation. Rallin's already committed to holding mid. And you have Minis poking out aggressively in A-holes. The fact that he's pushing out aggressively in A-holes is going to give them a ton of information. So you can see Rallin slowly rotating over towards that B bomb site. So the fact that NiP actually got the entry frag is not doing them that much now because they've been so slow to actually capitalize on it.
But they've got all the nades going through now. This is still going to be a very tough defense here. NiP, plenty of members are going to be pushing through long, but there are 3 people here already for G2 holding this site. There you go, Innocent at the back of the site. He's going to catch Exist out. Mao's at the back in the hen house, gets the headshot on Forrest. Getright will come in and manage to take out Minis. That was the lurk play, however. Alu is still looking to find an angle here on this man who's holding on this site. He does manage to clip Innocent, and it's going to be down to Ralu. Somehow, G2 have fallen behind in this scenario, and Alu is just going to relentlessly batter Ralin into the ground. Rollin trying his best to turn that into a 1v1, give himself a fighting chance. He knew that he had Get Right at his back.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate thing for Games 2 really is the fact that they never got any multi-kills. They pretty much just traded the entire way, and with NiP having the one-man advantage, that's just, they're completely fine with that. They're content with doing that any day of the week.
But I do agree with your observation there that NiP did take a little bit too long, or rather they didn't leave the lurk behind to make sure that they couldn't push through and get that information. Having 3 guys on that site did give G2 a fairly solid shot at stopping it. Or stopping that push that came in. Just so happens that this time around it didn't work out for them, but just some tweaks that need to happen. NiP in the meantime fully bought up on their side. It is going to be the CT side who are basically in a force buy scenario here. Map point for NiP. So far things are looking pretty good. Once again, getting control of A Apartments, getting control of the map.
Yeah, and it's absolutely crucial to get control of the map because you basically can bend the CTs to your will depending on what kind of information you find out. And already Freiburg picking up the entry frag on Minis, and well, you can see the rest of NiP slowly lurking their way forwards towards the B bomb site. And right now gamers are again end up in a situation where they're so split and just spread so thin that they're going to have a really hard time holding with lesser weapons. Maz does a really good job though picking up the frag on Aegis right there.
These flashes not really doing too much there. Rollin holding below drop room. Get Right decides he doesn't want to have anything to do with that. He's going to follow along with his mates instead. Alu taking point here, looking for that shot on the man holding site. Nobody is there, however. This is now going to be down to the remaining G2 members who are holding behind all the, well, the tree, the rock, everything, basically any cover that they can find, but that is not helping them at this point. The bomb gets planted, and it is going to be the man with the Nova. Sparrow with 2 kills, turns it into a 1v2, but he has so little HP that Get Right will just catch him out, and NiP, potentially the longest map in CS history, they have taken it. So there you have it, up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, and well, even though Gamers 2 managed to pick up a couple of rounds, they never really got back into the game, unfortunately for them. One round on CT side, obviously not gonna cut it. But
no, that's well, not winning the pistol I think is the big thing right there. Yeah. Once the NiP pick up that pistol round, you know that's pretty much punching your ticket. Like you're not really going to be able to come back from that because NiP are going to be able to get another 2 rounds ahead after an 11-4 finish. They get up to 13 rounds. You have so little room for error at that point. And G2, they just couldn't quite make it work. NiP though, I like the style that they had approaching that T side though. Really spreading out across the map, taking their time, finding the picks. It just seems like they've become very comfortable on Cobblestone. It's not a map that you want to mess with them on. No,
definitely not. And I actually really like it. Basically, they split themselves into two separate teams, and I think it was Forest who always joined Freiburg there in 8 holes. So basically just let them roam around and see what they can do, while the 3 other members from NiP just wait about and see what happens.
It feels like Get Right, like this is his map, right? Like the perfect map for Get Right. You just see him, the other 4 guys doing something on one side of the map, and then you just have Get Right, and he's got like 1,000 corners to choose from. He's like a kid in a candy store van, like, a cat with a ball of yarn. He's just going to be going all over the place, hiding behind this corner, hiding behind that corner, looking for the flank here. Like, Get Right on that map could do just horrific damage. And he did manage to pick up some lurk kills on the rotation. So as soon as NiP started applying pressure, Get Right's waiting in the wings,